3 players, 1 nickname, and a fan base that would absolutely lose it if this trio gets torn apart. The Leches trio, Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hull, and Sophie Cunningham, has become way bigger than just basketball. This isn't just about what happens on the court anymore. It's a brand, it's a movement, it's merch flying off shelves. It's the same shirt Sophie Cunningham rocked walking into the arena in Vegas, the one that instantly blew up online and had fans scrambling to get their hands on it. And maybe the craziest part, even casual fans, people who couldn't name 5 WNBA teams a year ago, can now name 3 Indiana Fever guards without hesitation. That's the level this trio reached. But now, everything could change, because on Friday, April 3rd, Herb Simon is facing a brutal decision. Or one of these 3 might be left exposed in the expansion draft, and that's where things get messy. Let's not forget, the Indiana Fever are now valued at around $370 million, making them one of the most valuable franchises in the league. Last season alone, they pulled in roughly $34 million in revenue, outperforming teams like the Liberty and the Aces, franchises based in much bigger markets. But rewind just 2 years. This was a team barely making noise, less than 2,000 fans per game, just 5 wins the entire season. There were real conversations about selling the team, or even shutting things down completely. So what flipped the switch? Yes, Caitlin Clark. But here's what a lot of people get wrong. She didn't do it alone. The real magic came from the trio. Clark is the engine, the superstar, the headline act. That part's obvious. Oh, but Lexi Hull, she's the backbone, the hustle player, the one bringing defensive intensity every single night, even when the team was getting blown out. Fans saw that effort, and they connected with it. And then there's Sophie Cunningham. She's the attitude, the personality, the spark. She leaned all the way into the Leches identity, and even showing up to games wearing custom gear inspired by a nickname the fans created. That's not something a front office can plan. You can't draft that kind of chemistry. You can't sign it in free agency. It just happens. And when it does, it's rare, maybe once in a generation, and somehow it happened in Indiana. Now here's the problem. Herb Simon only gets 5 protected spots. Caitlin Clark, locked. Aaliyah Boston, no question. Kelsey Mitchell, coming off a huge scoring season, she's in. Lexi Hull, young, improving, and a key part of the core, she likely takes the 4th spot. And that 5th and final slot, that's where everything falls apart, because all signs point to Sophie Cunningham being left unprotected. Yeah, the same Sophie Cunningham who helped turn this team into a cultural phenomenon. Instead, the Fever are reportedly considering using that final protected spot on Maya Timpson, a second-year player who barely saw the court as a rookie. Now, sure, Timpson might develop into something down the line, but right now, she's potential on paper. Cunningham is real impact, and on and off the court, she's walking into arenas already influencing sales, engagement, and fan culture in real time. And that's where the front office is about to make its case. The front office is gonna spin this as a smart, calculated move. They'll say, look, Sophie Cunningham is an unrestricted free agent. If a team like Portland or Toronto selects her, they'd have to pay top dollar, and we're talking supermax territory, around $1.4 million. And if they don't lock her in, she can always come right back to Indiana. On paper, it sounds reasonable, safe even, but history has already shown how dangerous safe thinking can be. Think back to 2012. When the Oklahoma City Thunder made a decision that still gets talked about today. They had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, 3 elite young stars, all under 25, all bought into the team, all building something special together, and then they broke it apart. Why? Because the numbers didn't line up perfectly. Ownership hesitated over the luxury tax. Harden wanted a slightly bigger deal, about $60 million. The Thunder offered around $55 million. That's it, a gap of just a few million for a franchise worth hundreds of millions. So what did they do? They traded him. In return, they got Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, and a few draft picks that barely moved the needle. Meanwhile, James Harden went on to become an MVP. Kevin Durant eventually left. And OKC, they spent years, an entire decade, trying to rebuild what they destroyed in a single decision. Even Durant admitted it later. The organization wasn't ready for its own success. They panicked. They trusted the spreadsheet more than the reality in front of them. And now, that exact same shadow is hovering over Herb Simon. Because the Fever's logic, it looks clean. 5 protection spots, 5 obvious choices, and Sophie Cunningham, she becomes the expendable piece. She'll probably come back anyway. Probably, but probably isn't a strategy. It's a risk. And this isn't just about losing a player. This is about potentially breaking something much bigger. A brand, a connection, a moment. The Tres Leches trio didn't come out of some marketing meeting. No executive sat down and planned this. The fans created it, and it caught fire because it felt real. 3 guards who genuinely enjoy playing together. Real chemistry, real energy. The kind of connection you can't fake and definitely can't manufacture. That's what turned Indiana Fever games into must-watch moments. And here's the truth about chemistry. You don't fully understand its value until it's gone. Last season, fans watched Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hull, and Sophie Cunningham build something special in real time. The celebrations, the inside jokes, the effortless social media moments that didn't feel forced. They just happened. Lexi Hull earning recognition, like being named one of Glamour's Women of the Year. Cunningham showing up to support Clark at an LPGA event, even caddying for her. These aren't just teammates. They're connected off the court too. They support each other, promote each other, elevate each other's visibility. And in doing that, they've made the entire franchise bigger, more valuable, more relevant. And now, all of that is hanging in the balance. If an expansion team grabs Sophie Cunningham, even for a short stretch, the entire Tres Leches identity takes a hit. The merch slows down, the viral edits fade away, and that emotional connection fans built with this trio gone almost instantly. That's the harsh reality. And here's the twist. This isn't even a mess Herb Simon created. This situation was shaped by the new CBA. Last year, during the Valkyries expansion draft, teams were allowed to protect 6 players. This time, only 5. That one missing slot, that's the pressure point. That's the decision that's forcing this entire situation into existence. Simon didn't design the rules, but now he has to live with the consequences. So let's call this what it really is. Friday isn't just about roster management. It's not some clever front office strategy. This is a high-stakes decision about value. Not just on the court, but beyond it. Because the Tres Leches trio isn't just producing wins, it's producing attention. It drives ticket sales. It moves merchandise. It gives the Indiana Fever an identity that goes beyond just Caitlin Clark surrounded by role players. It tells a story, and in sports today, stories are what build empires. That's how a $370 million franchise becomes a $500 million powerhouse. Now, Simon has a choice. He can lean into that reality, or he can trust the numbers. Leave Cunningham unprotected. Hope that Portland or Toronto passes on her. Assume the price tag scares them away. Convince himself that she'll circle right back to Indiana like nothing ever happened. And maybe that gamble works. Maybe she returns and everything picks up like the break never happened. But maybe it doesn't, because all it takes is one team, especially a brand new franchise like Toronto, looking for instant buzz, instant connection, instant relevance, and seeing exactly what Fever fans already see. A player whose value goes far beyond the stat sheet. Someone who brings energy, personality, and marketability you can't teach. We've seen this story before. When financial logic overrides what's clearly working, it can cost you more than you ever expected. Just ask the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're still dealing with the fallout of that one decision over a relatively small financial gap. Herb Simon now has that same kind of moment in front of him. The clock is ticking toward Friday. The Tres Leches trio is waiting. The fans are watching closely, and the expansion teams, they're watching even closer.